When it does this, there we go. We've started.
Hurrah! Welcome to Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Live Aid Christmas
on.
2018. It's us this year.
Yeah, welcome to. Well, hold on.
Welcome to Chris Mars.
Hold on. Welcome to Christmas, everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what I was saying. I feel like Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Definitely his Hollywood face. Here we go. Mick, where's your Christmas thing?
This is true. He's been disastrously underprepared.
Where's your Christmas thing? Where is it?
Where's Mick? More to the point.
Has he died? Or is he just being cunningly still? He's just cunningly still. Is he? This could be the best mannequin challenge I've ever seen from him. No, I think he's gone.
I think he's gone.
He's gone. Oh, fucking hell. All of a sudden he's dressed as a monk.
Yeah. This is a development.
Who put don't spam the chat? People can spam the chat with my name all they want. All they want. Spam away.
I was just making a little joke because I invited them to write it and then told them not.
This tinsel is it's eating and you're looking good, Cal.
Thanks
You
very
are
much.
looking good. This tinsel is eating into my neck.
Are you sure it's not sentient? I see a creepypasta come.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
This stream brought to you by Winter Wonder Ale. I don't know what that is, but I went into Tesco's and I was like, have you got any Christmas beer? In the hope that they might have had something interesting. The guy's like, we've got that stuff at the end, but apparently it's not very good. I was like, thanks.
Sorry. Wait for it. He sees you when you're sleeping. He
that's
knows
unsettling.
when you're That is quite unsettling, isn't it? If you think about it, though, that entire song is quite unsettling.
Santa gets up to a lot.
He
like
knows,
he's just coming down.
he knows when you're awake.
He does say he saw a mummy kissing Santa Claus, but he doesn't say whether or not she initiated it.
Oh God, that's dark.
Yep.
Right, I'm actually
Welcome
right.
to 2017. Kevin
Hold on.
Spacey as Santa.
I'm just making all this over here nice and festive.
This beard seems counterintuitive to drinking. I don't know if I can turn it into some kind of.
You could turn it into some sort of sponge and then just sort of
Fuck! I've already just pulled a chunk out of it.
or just like squeeze the beer into your mouth.
Cybernator says didn't realise there would be a tinsel burlesque this stream. Do not put that idea in his head.
Yes.
The world is not ready for that kind of darkness.
Yes. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
That's good.
You're
That's
just
good.
counterintuitive to fun.
Good night, everybody. So, how's everyone in the chat doing? Is everyone good? Are you all ready for Christmas? I haven't got my presents yet. That's good, isn't it?
Of course. Welcome, Cybernator. Welcome, Vintage Toy Reviews and Court Magician.
Oh, yes. The court magician has arrived. Where's the court baggage? Where's Mick?
We're
So
the
Mick died.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to do the best we can without him, as per. Check this out. How disappointing is this, right?
It's a little bit off key.
A little bit shit.
I
That was
think
the
that's
truth.
beautiful. Hello, Laura. Welcome. And Zugai 51, welcome.
Indeed.
Right. So we have actually, we literally all jumped on at the last minute here. I think we have, well, as far as I'm aware, we have nothing planned. Do we have anything planned? I don't think we have anything planned.
Do we ever?
So we're flying by the seats of our pants, everyone.
Much like Santa.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he just goes around in his pants. That's a different type of Santa.
Why do you think nobody sees him?
I just realised this whole time I've been talking to you on the on my monitor rather than talking to the camera where all the lovely people are. Hello, lovely people.
Selfish.
You want to get
Mick,
more?
Mick Macy's joined this video call. Hold your breath. Peaceful Joint, welcome.
Hello. It's Halloween, everybody. It's Halloween. No, it's not really. It's not really. Those of you. Oh, Mick sounds like he's fallen down a toilet again.
Yeah. Kicked. See ya.
Mick needs to stop streaming using a potato.
Yeah. Have you tried connecting your internet? I don't know, Calum, if you tried having a shave today. Fucking bump. I should have done that before I came on. I apologize massively. I thought the beard but it makes it fake beard would cover it better, but it's stopping me being an alcoholic.
It's like right, so like take the beard off. Take the beard off.
Right, beard off.
Right. No, take the beard off. Take the beard off. Take it off, right?
Beard off.
Take the beard off before. Put the beard on after. Basically, this is exactly what you're going to look like when you're homeless.
Oh, thanks. Sorry. By what circumstances are we going to become homeless? What have you got planned?
It's going to happen. I'm going to be homeless by next year. These things are going.
That's right. I know. When your child turns against you.
I know, it's a little bit worrying when I have a child on the way.
So what's happening with all the YouTube money we're raking in then?
Hey, the AdSense pot is dry. Where did this beard came from?
It's a pot that actually takes things. Anyway, Mick, you're back and you're looking very cardiganed.
Thank you.
You're looking
it is a cold here.
Thanks, Robot.
It's been snowing
Merry
for 4
Christmas.
days.
Mick,
yeah.
Try talking, right? It sounds clear now.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it sounds okay now, yeah.
Sounds fine.
Satisfying. Like I said, it's been snowing for a couple of days. Everything was completely covered. So I'm wearing a cardigan, and I actually hate cardigans. So that's.
I think anything that keeps you warm is awesome. Can I tell you and everybody in the chat a little festive story to just warm your cockles?
If you think it's relevant.
No.
Right. Okay then. Right, okay.
No.
It's very quick. I tweeted about this earlier on today. I laughed for hours about this. Right.
I really hope this is just spoilers for the new Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. So my wife finished reading A Christmas Carol for the first time last night.
Which one?
Shut up. A Christmas Carol. Yeah. So this morning we were talking about it.
Why can't you write stuff like this, Michael?
This morning we were talking about it and we were discussing it, like at what point in the story does Scrooge start to become a better person? When do you first see the wee glimpse of it? And my wife said, I think it's when Bob Marley visits him.
What?
Bob Marley visits him, and I responded with Buffalo Soldier, and just the image of Bob Marley visiting Ebenezer Scrooge rather than Jacob. She literally just get the name wrong instead of Jacob.
But now that's the story. That's how you modernize that story by incorporating someone from the 1960s. But
Ebenezer, man, I know it's seen as racist if a white person.
Yes, especially someone that's practically transparent like us.
Yeah, I know.
Don't let this white beard fool you.
I know, the good old Scottish genes. Well, hello, Gary. How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
I'm not allergic to anything, but I've got a funny feeling this is going to be made of something that I will be allergic to. Like, that stuff that they use. Yeah, that stuff they use for instance. That's like you touch it and it just cuts you.
Yeah, like glass wool. Yeah. It's definitely glass wool.
Bloody hell, Kylo Ren. What's all this about?
Yeah.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
Cybernator says A Caribbean Carol. I would watch that film. A Caribbean Carol. That is awesome. And Laura says that she's pregnant, leave her alone, baby brain. That's what she said.
That's what the child said, and it really freaked you out.
Yeah.
Go away, Michael.
I know. Yep, we're officially a week overdue.
Yeah, I heard so, but that's okay though.
Yeah, it's fine, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Like all things Michael creates.
No, never on time.
I was 2 weeks early, actually.
Were you?
Yep.
Not to this stream.
that's the end of that conversation. Were you really? Yeah, I was. So, what's your costume, Mick? Are you like some sort of pagan winter solstice?
Winter soldier.
No idea. I did not. I did not know where to do anything.
Oh, he's turned into Robot Mick
Techno
again.
monk. He's one. Oh, he's one of those monks that's in the what do you call it? What's the Planet of the Apes where they're under the ground and they all worship the nuclear bomb? Is that beneath the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, underground. Yeah,
one of those.
Good. Right, guys, I'm going to go all Hollywood Hogan again just for a little bit.
Right.
Until this really irritates my neck.
You're just going to beat the shit out of Sylvester Stallone for 6 minutes. Hey, it's just for charity.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Or I can be. What's the name? What's his name in Rocky 2? Is it Thunderlips? Thunderlips. Oh, baby. Yeah,
that's what you have to call him in real life as well. Has anyone ever seen the Hulk Hogan sex tape?
Yes. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, it's about. Well, it's really weird because he's kind of talking like he's just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Well, they're sort of doing it, you know. She leaves. He's like, "Wait, I better go."
I'll need to look it out. I wonder if it's more traumatizing than the one with Chuck Berry farting on people.
Right, no, it's nowhere near as bad as that.
Right. If that's a bar, like, we've got shit things off.
Yeah. We're not going to get into this because have we lost Mick again?
We have. It was the Chuck Berry. He loves him too much.
Everyone, Mick is going to be an interloper. He's going to be intermittently here. So when we have a Discord, don't we? Oh, hello, Angela. How you doing?
Well, a lot of the people that are here know about the Discord because they're in it.
Because they're in it. Okay.
Gary, what up, boy?
And I'm looking through it at the moment. What?
Who's here that's not in the Discord? I want names.
I know.
Who's in the Discord that's not here?
So Zugai was thinking of something along the lines of spending Christmas with my horrible insert relative, ex-best friend, etc. Do you have any horrible Christmas stories?
Me?
Yeah.
There was one Christmas where we were coming back from a family friend pantomime, and just about 10 minutes after we left, the roof was torn off the theater. Right, in terms of like the weather was that bad going back, so we started heading home, and basically, like it was like something out of a film. Every road you turned, there was some kind of catastrophic incident that prevented us from going any further. So eventually, we were going down this road, and at one point, we were halfway down this road, and my mum was like, "Oh, stop! We need to turn around." And just as she said that, a tree fell in front of the car. And at one point,
holy shit, Mick just shat.
Ruined that story.
He just came in and shat all over your story, all over it.
Sorry.
It's like right at the end, and then a G came to, "Hi guys, I'm Techno Monk."
Yeah. Remix. Try out the echo effect. Fuck.
So where did the tree land?
Literally about 6 feet in front of the car.
Jesus.
And then we had to spend the night in this hotel, really old hotel. We were the only guests in maybe like a 100-room hotel. And it was like a stately manor that had extra bits built onto it, and there was no light, no power, nothing. And I mean, I must have been about 7 or 8, and we were in this place just absolutely pitch black, just like, the wind battering against the windows. Pretty creepy. Merry Christmas, very festive. And the woman the woman was like, "Well, I'm afraid we can't really offer you any food, but we could do you some toast." And we were like, "How the fuck are they going to make toast if there's no power?" And they'd been heating up bread in front of the fire. And basically, they brought us this like.
I've made toast like that before. It does work.
Yeah, she hadn't. It was fucked.
Was it rubbish?
Yeah. So
Rubbish
the next day they were like, we can't charge you for that because there was no power or anything.
Because the toast was rubbish.
I think it was mainly because it was against the Geneva Toast Convention.
Probably. So
your turn.
Is Mick frozen again?
Almost certainly.
What's it? It's like he looks like he's, because we can see him, but the audience can't. And he sort of he looks like a really. Oh, he's back. Mick, what is happening with your connection? Come on now.
Come on, R2.
I don't know if I've got like a bad Christmas story. I don't really think
one you've written.
Like, I've ruined plenty of Christmases.
No, I said what one you've written. Yeah. What a bad Christmas story.
Yeah. I've written a few, and I've ruined a few as well. The big debate at the moment, we've went over this once before many moons ago, and we had a big argument about it on our old YouTube channel, and it actually probably ended that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
About like what constitutes a Christmas film, and loads of people are having that debate right now.
Yeah.
Like,
the Die Hard thing's not a debate. There's like people that are correct, and there's idiots. Big idiots.
Yeah, Die Hard is definitely a Christmas
film. It's set at Christmas. There's a Christmas tree. I watched it the other day. They say Christmas about 20 times. You only need to say Christmas once for it to be a Christmas film. Unless it's like, I'm looking forward to next month when it's Christmas, but that's not in this film.
Yeah.
If someone says that, it's not a Christmas film.
Like, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it can be very tenuous. I think like Die Hard definitely is a Christmas movie.
Right.
But I watched a film recently, like a Cary Grant movie called Holiday, and people put it on like their Christmas lists.
Yeah, Roman Holiday is not a Christmas film.
Not Roman Holiday, just Holiday.
What other holiday film?
This is just Holiday.
With Cameron Diaz.
No,
You got
no. No. This one just Cary Grant. Not just Cary Grant. It's a one-man show.
It's a bit like Moon. Cary Grant's a drone on the moon. Oh shit.
No, it's a Cary Grant film. It's got Katharine Hepburn in it. And it's basically all set in this one house where Cary Grant has been engaged to this woman who's like a sort of rich heiress, and she brings him, but he's a kind of, well, he's supposed to be a working class Joe, and then they talk about how he goes to Harvard and all this. Anyway, this is beside the point. My whole point was that in this film, it's like put on people's Christmas list, like Christmas films, and Christmas is like just really not in it. Most of the film takes place on New Year's Eve. And I think it's like someone mentions Christmas once, and you're kind of like, yeah, maybe that's not a Christmas movie.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the expert.
I'm not claiming to be an expert, but hello, Fault Fair Gav.
Incorrect.
Wait, say that
How
again.
many drinks do you think Santa has to drink on a night going round? If everyone leaves him out, I think Santa tans booze like you would not believe.
Do you know what though? I said to Kirsty, because we were saying that like, when the wee ones here, like at Christmas, we'll leave something out for Santa. And I was like, right. And I said, so Kirsty's like, so we'll leave like a carrot and some cookies, right? And I'm like, and as she said a glass of milk, I said a double whiskey. And she said, no, that's not what you do. You don't. So I'm like, was that just my house then?
That was one of the first years I found out about Santa. We were at the supermarket and we were picking beer for Santa, and my dad said, no, Santa doesn't like that beer. Hold on a minute. I've seen him drinking that.
Mick, are you back? Are you back?
Well, is this working?
Yeah, just leave your webcam off and we might be fine. The real question is now, people in the chat, let's get some horrific Christmas stories. Nothing too horrific. Like, if it's traumatizing, you don't want to share it.
Yeah, don't ruin Christmas as well.
Private messages. But
I do have a very good one, though.
You do have a good one?
I do have a delicious one.
Go on then.
Bootylicious.
I always had this very troubled relationship with Christmas. I don't really like it.
Right.
But then I was in this. This is a really fun. This is like the funnest story ever. I was in this really committed relationship. Went to New York for 3 months, and then she got back. Christmas Eve, she kind of dumped me. Then I was like, maybe we could try a little bit longer because you just went away for 3 months. And she was like, yeah, maybe. And then we went to Christmas dinner with her parents. Well, we are actually already broke up.
Oh, nice.
Which was amazing. And then the next year I got food poisoning. So that's because it was really funny because I thought maybe I should just spend it by myself this year because fuck it all. And then I ordered in a pizza and I got like the worst case of food poisoning ever.
From a pizza?
So
that's got to be the worst way to get food poisoning.
Do you know that happened to me once as
well?
Though with a pizza, I always remember getting a mushroom pizza years ago, and when I was about 13. I've never had one ever again. I was violently ill. That's a lovely Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yay! Let's keep it festive.
Mick, see when
Yeah.
you were at this festive gathering with this, as far as I'm concerned, this woman who doesn't know your worth, if she's throwing things away like that, she can go fuck.
Or maybe she does, but
no, she doesn't.
It was for the best, though. It was for the best, but that's a different story.
Did you mess it up for her? Did you mess it up for her while you were like you could, if you were actually at her family thing? That's like an enemy getting invited behind enemy lines. No.
Thanks for joining us, Mick. Back to you in the studio.
We're having some technical difficulties. We can't really help that, can we?
No, it's the
Can't
language
really
barrier.
This is. I'm dropping out again, wasn't I?
Well, I thought you were doing an impression of R2D2, but
yeah,
we did lose you a little bit.
I think I should just hang this up for tonight. I'm sorry, but I keep just dropping the connection. I think so.
That's
right,
my
no
Christmas
worries.
ruined.
No worries. Hang out in the chat.
I will.
Man thing.
Yeah, no. Well, welcome to stick around. Fucking hell, this guy. I invite you to stick around.
Right, everyone, we've got an opening.
Yeah.
I think it's working now again, though.
It's kind of working a little bit now.
Kind of a little bit is not good enough.
Well, no, it's.
I mean, it's like steering a ship into the wind, but yeah, it's still going.
I wonder if we could have an entire live stream that's just us talking about trying to fix. That would be what a great.
We're dangerously close.
Troll live stream that would be. Sitting for like 2 or 3 hours, just being like, "Hey, is this going to fix itself?"
I know.
I don't know. Now it sounds like Mick's going to the toilet.
It sounds like Mick's trying to build himself a new router. Just Peter Pan. Oh, not Peter Pan. Blue Peter. Sorry, Peter Pan's a very different kettle of fish.
So, what about? We've probably done this to death. Actually, I was going to say horror films, festive horror movies. We were going to do a podcast on that. Do we
unleash that weapon here? Why not? Give the people what they want.
We were going to do a podcast and talk about Black Friday. No, Black Christmas. I'm having an absolute nightmare. Black Christmas, Gremlins, and Krampus, I think was the 3 films that we were going to talk about.
Sounds about right.
So Black Christmas is one that I actually didn't watch until about 2 years ago. I think you watched it with me, Callum, did you not?
We did indeed.
Yeah.
It's
a precursor to Halloween. Well, it was before Halloween.
It's got Karen Allen in it.
And it's a slasher film, basically.
Yeah, with Karen Allen in it.
Is Karen Allen in it?
From Indiana Jones, yeah.
Was Karen Allen in it, perhaps?
Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Yes, she is.
I'm looking at you right now, Cal.
It's funny you don't remember this because the whole time we were watching it, I was like, we were watching it, and it's what's her name? Is it from Superman that's in it? Margot Kidder or whatever.
Kidder,
yeah, the one that went nuts.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, there's Karen Allen, and you were like, it's Margot Kidder. Jumping down
I know
my
for a
throat.
fact. I know for a fact, right? I know for a fact that the first time you said that, you thought it was Karen Allen.
No, it did not.
Yes, you did. You
Michael,
don't like
I'm
to be
capable of
wrong.
creating
You don't like
jokes.
to be wrong, and then you just once after that, you're like, "Hey guys, I'm just cracking a joke." Yeah,
You can
I
tell
just
the
think-
difference between the two of them.
Yeah, but so Black Christmas, I was really sort of impressed with that movie because, like, a lot of people look on Halloween as the sort of king of slasher movies and the sort of originator of them.
Sounds like a Medea film, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like I thought Black Christmas was really pretty excellent, and it's really grim. It basically takes place in this sorority house, where at the very start of the film, some maniac sneaks into the attic of this house, and then just throughout the movie comes down from the attic and starts killing people in bleak, imaginative ways. But I really enjoyed it. I'm really getting nothing from you, Callum. I'm getting fucking.
It's
nothing
definitely it's kind of. I mean, now it's quite a common thing to say. You know, that it's like the inspiration for so many slashers now. But it's amazing how few people actually know about that film.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like Peeping Tom, and like so there are like a few others.
I do like that.
There's a few others that sort of happened before, and I actually think that when you watch the actual slasher movies, they borrow most from Friday the 13th out of any of them, really. That film's got more of a sort of hokey vibe to it, and most.
But that's another film that's really misremembered.
Yeah,
I mean, if you told most people that the first film didn't have Jason in it, they'd be like, "What?"
and if you told them that they didn't have Kevin Bacon in it, they would just be like, "I saw that guy."
The guy from the E advert, correct?
Kevin Bacon has one of the best horror film deaths ever in that movie. I never, after watching that, I just didn't want to like lie down on a bed. Can you not remember it?
It's been ages since I've seen Friday the 13th. All I remember
I'm
is
going
at
to
the
spoil
end.
it.
All I remember at the end of it is Jason pulling someone into the lake.
I'm going to spoil it. Like, Kevin Bacon lies down on this bed, and while he's lying there, a hand comes up, grabs his forehead, and an arrow gets put through his neck from underneath. I may be lying about the hand actually coming around. Does that actually happen? Can't remember. But the arrow comes through his neck. And it just like it's like always check underneath the bed. If you're in a film,
because of the big worms.
Yeah. No, just always if you're in any situation, I would advise check under your bed. Callum might be under there. And we all know what happens then.
Favorite Kevin Bacon film?
The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Oh, it's got to be probably. Oh, does Plane, Trains and Automobiles count? Because he's got a cameo in it.
Yeah, but it's not really great because of him, is it?
It's an awesome cameo, though. It's a brilliant cameo.
You know,
all right, okay. Like, Tremors probably is my favorite Kevin Bacon film.
What about Kevin Spacey?
The Night the Innocents Died. Oh no, sorry, that's his upcoming.
Oh, he didn't kill anyone. Just the spirit.
Just kill. He killed people's innocence,
and then walked away with a limp.
Why do we always end up talking about abusers on the live stream?
Because we expose people.
I know. Drama alert, everyone. Pedo alert, everyone.
Yeah. How do you think they caught Savile? A stakeout.
I know.
That's why you don't see Martin anymore. He's emotionally crippled. We use him as bait.
I know. Don't worry, Martin's coming back.
Can you imagine if we dressed Martin as a schoolboy and he's massive, tall frame and just left him out with a net?
I would be interested to know what height Martin was when he was at school, because I think he's probably.
Well, what age at school? I imagine he's changed.
When he was 12.
I don't think he went to school day one.
Day
Bye,
one,
Mum.
Thanks for.
See, Martin.
Maybe she's even taller. Bye, Martin.
Yeah. Martin's just come. Martin's a hill person.
What's your favourite Kevin Bacon film then?
Footloose.
Footloose is both a terrible film and an absolute delight. It's like a guilty pleasure, Footloose.
What about Invisible Man, or what's it called?
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man, that's it.
It was alright.
He did seem to enjoy himself in that movie, even if it was shit.
I like Kevin Bacon. I always think he looks a little bit like Skeletor, but apart from that,
Is Hollow Man
Says me.
Cronenberg, or am I just tripping balls?
no, it's Hollow Man, not
Hang
like-
on.
like Verhoeven or something like that, or
That's why I got confused. I think it is Paul
oh,
Verhoeven.
like Karen Allen,
Yeah,
yeah. So he's just doing it now. Oh
Paul
no,
Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
A director who sadly it's been a while since he's done anything that I've kind of got excited about.
Aaron, don't worry, Martin will be back. He's not left us. He's just running around doing his thing. But yeah, he was because he was in in that film.
Do you know actually like
their film?
Paul Verhoeven's got a few films I really, really like, but see actually when you look through his back catalogue, a lot of it's pretty unforgivable.
Well, like Showgirls.
Yeah.
Although some people think Showgirls is secretly a masterpiece.
That's true.
And
a lot of people have got a very worn out VHS copy of
it. The thing is with Paul Verhoeven is that I think the problem is that everything he does has some sort of subversive element to it.
Mm.
And sometimes you wonder if a film's really, really bad. You're kind of because there was a lot of people that watched like Starship Troopers and thought it was like a genuine attempt to make like a sci-fi action movie, like Aliens.
Which it was.
It wasn't a genuine attempt. Shut up, Gal. Right.
There were some funny bits in it, but on the whole, that film that scared me. An alien menace.
It's afraid. I loved Starship Troopers. Thought it was great. Starship Troopers just felt like it was a sequel to RoboCop. It had the same tone as it.
You ever seen any of the other ones?
No, I don't want to.
I've seen the animation that came after. I think it was called Roughnecks, but I haven't seen the new one. The new one's got Casper the Friendly Ghost in it.
Roughnecks. You sure that was a science fiction film?
Yes.
I've seen a movie called Roughnecks as well.
Well, all the men in it were in space.
Fiction. Yeah, they were in space, but they were naked.
Oh, well, they had to put their suit on. they were struggling. They were struggling to get their suit on, but
I'm just looking through the chat.
Oh,
so talk amongst yourself, Callum.
Thanks very much. Talk from me to me. This is getting quite itchy. I'm going to have to remove it.
I bet that is. You're going to have a rash now for a week.
I know. It's like... Do you know what? I feel really bad. I mean, obviously, a lot of this cheap stuff you buy is obviously assembled probably by child labour somewhere. Like, it's that joke that Stephen Merchant made in... what do you call it? Extras about them making the really shitty dolls, you know? And he says they're probably having a whale of a time making these, pressing the catchphrase all the time. You know, and it's just like, do you think it's really depressing them making stuff that they'll never get to play with, or do you think they do have a good time?
No, I think being a child doing labour is probably a miserable time, Callum. How's your beer?
It's well finished, Michael. I haven't actually left because I was hoping there'd be a third person to perform some kind of act so I could inebriate myself further. But I shall stay here in the interest of continuing.
Oh, what? So you're wanting to go off and get yourself another beer?
Correct.
I wonder how. Right, Mick has just messaged us on Discord, and he's just said LIVR.
Yeah, because I spelt live wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or did I?
That's fine. Why don't you go and get yourself a beer? Get yourself a beer.
No, it's fine because I don't trust you to hold court.
Oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'm a seasoned vlogger, yeah.
What's under that jumper? Oh, I've got a few surprises up these sweet sleeves.
I know. Do you have a Christmas jumper?
No, though I do. I think I'm going to pick up the Die Hard one this year. You know, the ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun.
Oh, nice. That sounds lovely. Has Mick rejoined us?
Yeah, Callum needs a beer, so I'll just jump in real quick.
Whoa! Beautiful.
Santa is real.
I cannot believe that you don't trust me to stay here alone.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be back momentarily.
Mick, you're sounding much clearer now.
Oh, that's good. So the thing is, it's Verhoeven, not Verhoeven. dick.
Listen, you're saying that like you're from the Netherlands.
Yeah. So say it with me. Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven. Oof, oof, oof.
Verhoeven. Hoven.
Isengard. It's Paul Verhoeven. That was very good, actually. Yeah.
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven, yeah.
Verhoeven.
Who?
Hoven.
Like the owl. Who?
Ho.
Who?
Verhoeven. Verhoeven.
That's good. Verhoeven. That's good.
Verhoeven. Now you want me to say Verhoeven? You want me to say Verhoeven?
No, you said Verhoeven. What did you say, actually? I don't remember.
I've got you. I've got it in your head, and now you think it's Verhoeven.
Are you drinking Carlsberg?
Then you're going to be with all your Dutch friends, and you're going to embarrass yourself.
Am I drinking Carlsberg? Indeed, I am not.
Oh God, I was very afraid for them. But it's Verhoeven, yeah. Can I say it?
Paul Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Great.
Verhoeven.
That's how you speak Dutch.
You're
talking to your family.
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
I feel we should throw it out to the chat because I think it's been a while since we've had a question and answer. I feel we should within reason, let the chat ask us any question.
The chat has actually been chatting, and we've just
that is not the chat's function, of course.
Cybernator has a Donald Trump "Make Christmas Great Again" jumper.
Was it made in America? Was that not the ultimate irony of his hats? Make America great again. They weren't made there.
So you're saying, right? So Starship Troopers is your favorite film, Mick?
Well, that's the thing in my like the guys I hang out with, my friends, the other friends, not you guys, but I have more friends.
What?
I'm so sorry about that, but it's like a running joke with these guys that Starship Troopers is the best movie ever made. But I kind of have to agree, though. I mean, it's
I don't
awesome.
understand what's funny about it.
You're just
because it's awesome.
You're undermining us. You're undermining our point.
I think Starship. No, I'm saying it's a great film. I don't understand why it being the best film would be a joke.
Yeah, that's what I think. But some people think it's a joke.
It's a little bit right. It's a great movie.
When you first watch it and you're younger, right?
Movie.
What's it got? It's got
the
aliens.
Best movie.
It's got guns. It's got jokes. It's got some boobies. Like, what more do you need as a young grown man? Would you like to know more?
So what you're saying is that film is just for young boys, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but I mean, whoever truly grows up.
Yeah, but like in that sense, it's like a good Roald Dahl book. Like as a kid, you read it, and then as an adult, you read it, and it's completely different, and it's still fucking awesome. So,
yeah,
I'd love to see that on the shelf right next to James and the Giant Peach. Oh yeah, Starship Troopers. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Roald Dahl's Starship Troopers.
Well, his adult novels are pretty hardcore when we're talking about Roald Dahl. So
that's very true. He's got a lot of really good horror stuff, and I guess there's a horror undercurrent through a lot of his other stuff as well. I mean, you can't read James and the Giant Peach or indeed watch it without going fucking hell.
Exactly.
All of his stuff has this sort of strange quirk to it. I got a ghost story collection, and I was really disappointed because it's called Roald Dahl's Ghost Stories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually, he was asked to basically adapt ghost stories for a TV series in like the 60s, I think.
Okay.
And it never worked out, but he'd done all the research for it and eventually put together this ghost story anthology. But the thing is with it, it's called Roald Dahl's Ghost Stories. You get it, and then you realize it's other people's ghost stories. It's not Roald Dahl's ghost stories. I thought,
but we see a ghost writer on them.
No, it's a collection of stuff. It's a collection of ghost stories, and I have to say as well, some of the ghost stories are really good in it, but they're not all great.
Because of course not. They're not by Roald Dahl.
I read Roald Dahl. It'd been a long time since I read anything, but I read Royal Jelly not that long ago. Have you ever read that?
Is that another one?
That's fucked up.
Tales from the Unexpected.
Yeah, it did end up in the TV show as well. Yeah, it's
That's
about
a fucked up story.
yeah, it's about a couple. I think the mother's quite a bit younger than the father. Maybe I'm trying to remember. It was a few months ago I read it. I can't believe that I've forgotten that. But basically, they have a baby and the baby's not feeding and it keeps getting weaker and weaker. And he's a beekeeper, and bees have this substance which is called royal jelly, which the queen has and the workers have for a much smaller time than she does. And I believe it actually is supposed to increase the size of bees by something like 3,000 times. No, I'm not shitting you. Like literally
No,
from their larval state. From their larval state.
I thought you meant like if a normal.
Yeah, a normal bee took it, they'd be like the Incredible Hulk. No, from their.
You meant like if a normal bee took this, they would. Oh, it's 3,000 times. Do you know how big that would be?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. So from their most basic state, the queen's given this, and she grows up to 3,000 times her size over the course of her taking it. But the workers only have it for a very short period of time, so he starts giving it to the child, and basically he does it behind his wife's back, and she starts to notice changes in the child. It's quite good.
Yeah, well, I've never read the story, but like I said, I've seen the episode's quite famous. Tales of the Unexpected was always like it. It was like a sort of, it was a TV series that you kind of tried to sneak a look at because it was
it's
quite
fucked up.
It was quite
the first
adult.
episode's about a mother wanting to eat her son.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. It's great though. I think it was at one point on Netflix, but I don't think it is anymore.
I haven't seen it on Netflix.
I'm sure. No, it definitely. Oh no, it wasn't on Netflix. It was on Now TV.
Karen Allen. There's another Karen Allen. Everyone.
Margot Kidder.
Yeah. When I was a kid though, like the big sort of Roald Dahl story for me was the BFG. I just
it's great.
That story when I was a kid.
Did you see the film they made recently?
No, I never watched it.
No, right.
It's all right.
Did anybody?
Right. I'm not sure, but like I know I used to watch the cartoon. I can even still remember the song in it. Whiz pop, whiz bang, feel the bubbles go down. There you go. That's all you're getting at me, because that's all I remember.
That's delightful. And
it was David Jason that voiced him. That's all I remember as well. That's it. Have we lost Mick again?
That's true. Yes, I believe I have. Sorry, so caught up in Tales of the Unexpected. Would you say it was a tale of the unexpected that Mick has dropped out of the call again? Because probably not.
Probably. Hold on a second. 2 seconds. My wife is on the phone. I thought I heard her shout there.
Speaking to other people, we must stop that.
She's like that to me. What if I go into labour while you're on a live stream? I was like, hold it in, girls. No, I said, it's only a live stream.
Oh, thanks.
No, I don't mean it.
Just leave me here on. Sorry, I've got to go and attend to a tiny live.
Yeah, I know. It sort of hit me tonight though, because Kirsty's dad came round and we were talking about how tomorrow we've got a midwife appointment and she might get induced. Like if tomorrow they might book an appointment for us to go into hospital, and it's kind of like, then Kirsty said, "Yeah, I don't think they'd let us go by Tuesday." So it's kind of like, oh, it sort of hits just like this time next week. I'll hopefully be a dad. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, sorry to derail. I know I keep talking. It's like baby chat. I'm going to turn into one of these people that just constantly talks about their children.
Well, you've got the right jumper.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love me some Christmas jumper.
Do you?
Yeah, of course you do. Do you not like Christmas jumpers?
No, not
particularly. To be fair,
particularly.
I was wearing Christmas jumpers before it became trendy. And
for fuck's sake, here we go.
It's like things.
Hey, the phones just rolling down the street. Hey, that's that trendsetter with his Christmas jumper. What's up, ladies?
Trends it's a cyclical thing.
He's gonna jump the gorge on his bike.
It's a cyclical thing. If I just stay the same for long enough, but fatter, if I just stay the same for long enough, then eventually you find yourself momentarily fashionable.
Right.
And then momentarily, well, not momentarily, the rest of the time you're just
I think it's
Jesus
possible
Christ.
for that not to be true.
No, I don't.
Do you know, funnily
It's
enough,
100% true.
I hadn't been in one for a while, but I went into a vintage clothing shop with Alan the other day looking for stuff for the next anime nasties, and he it's strange. I'd been into a couple before, and I'd kind of resented the fact that they charge you like £100 for like one of those tracksuits from the 1980s that you see like refugees wearing in the Eastern Bloc.
Jesus.
Like, it's really, I mean, it's quote unquote vintage stuff, but the prices are unbelievable. But you saw a couple of things and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. But basically what they do is they go around charity shops, buy it for like fuck all, and then take it later on. They're like, yeah, 90 quid for that. That's a 1980s Pico or whatever. They go nuts. But it was kind of disappointing because they had some really, really cool items, but of course, nothing's ever going to do you a deal on it.
You do realise though that you're just chasing that hipster dream by going into these places in the first place.
To look for a 1980s coat for Alan.
For you.
For me, that's right. Yes, because me and Alan are very similar sizes.
No,
That's something we recently learned.
I remember. I know I've told this story before. I'm sure where I had this jacket. I've told this suede jacket story before, haven't I?
One of Michael's 6 stories.
Yeah, I know.
Brings out in the live stream.
I know. That's what I feel.
End it quickly.
I know. Like, where I had this. I have told this story, haven't I? Long story.
I don't know. You've not even started it. I've
okay.
told this story, haven't I? Probably.
Right. Long story short, when I was about 18, I fell in love with the film Mallrats, which was a Kevin Smith film, which I refuse to watch now because I'm terrified that it's awful. Mm-hmm. And it just really, but I loved that movie at the time, and I loved the main character in it, Brody, who had this suede jacket. So when I was about 18, I went into town, went into this like second-hand clothes shop, and I bought this suede jacket. You have never seen anything like this in your life.
Except from the one that Brody had in Mallrats.
Because it was nothing like it. That was the worst thing about it. It was like a sort of orangey suede, right?
Oh dear.
Yeah. I left on the way home on the bus. I left it by accident. It was a really well made. Like it probably cost a fortune back in the day, but it was second hand. And when I left it on the bus and I got home and I phoned the bus depot and no one had taken it. And this was on a bus that people would normally take things. Like if you left anything out, people would normally take it. And I'd left this jacket. It was so bad that they wouldn't even take it. They wouldn't even take this free jacket that was just sitting there. And then I wore that jacket for about 2 years. Or maybe not 2 years, maybe about a year. And I thought it was the bee's knees. I thought it was the best jacket ever. And people used to always comment on it like, oh, fucking hell, that's a nice jacket, Michael. And I realised now that what they were really saying was, Jesus Christ, this guy's walking around like a maniac.
Like one of those things that you just cut out of a couch.
Do you know that jacket nearly got me stabbed once as well? Because I was...
Fuck, how bad was this jacket?
This jacket nearly got me stabbed because I was working at a nightclub in the city centre, and it was after the nightclub had closed, and one of the managers, some of his friends were in, and they sort of stayed after closing time. And then I left, and I was waiting outside. I was waiting for a taxi, and these 2 guys walked by, much bigger than me. That's not difficult. But one of the guys is just immediately like that to me, whoa, like touching the jacket, like, whoa, Jesus Christ!
Oh, it's Brody.
Yeah.
Hey, Mallrats.
It's Jason Lee. And he was like, mate, that's an amazing jacket. And he had a kind of like suede jacket or something as well. Only his looked normal, whereas mine, let's say, was anything but. And he's like, mate, that's the business. As we're standing there, he starts saying, because I was standing outside the club, and he's like, were you in there or not? He's like, that's a shite club. And I'm just sitting there going, yeah, aye, whatever, mate, yeah. Just hoping that him and his friend will go along. And then the manager comes up with his friends, and his friends are drunk, and one of the friends used to be the main manager of that nightclub, and he heard the guy saying that's a shite.
I don't know any of them, do I?
No, he said that's a shite nightclub, and then this guy heard it, so they started arguing in the street. The two guys that had been talking to me, one of them tried to go for my manager's friend, and then they all, my manager and his friends all got in a car, drove off, left me with these two guys, enraged, left me on my Todd. I was about 18 at the time. And one of them had their arms around the other one because the guy was trying to pull. He had a knife in his back pocket. And they were rolling around on the ground, and he was looking at me. They're rolling on the ground. He's looking at me, going, "I'm going to fucking." I hadn't done anything. Luckily, a taxi turned up, and I left.
You managed to get in and just slowly peel the jacket off the guy and replace it with yours.
But long story short, the jacket nearly got me stabbed. I went in the next day and I pulled the manager up for it. I was like, "I don't care if you're my boss." I was like, "You could have I know it's like there was no space in the car. You could have just fucking chucked me in the car and drove around the corner. Do you know what I mean?" Like, I was just left there on my Todd. Dark times, guys, dark times. But anyway, the long story short is I wore that jacket for a long time. I even made a flag out of it once in the middle of town. So it's good times.
Is it maybe like what happened to it? Like, did you gift it to someone else and they were killed in a road traffic accident or something? Is this a horribly unlucky jacket?
I really wonder if it's still around. There's loads of boxes upstairs in the loft from when I moved from mum and dad's.
Look like that now.
And they've got. I'm not going to go up in the loft now.
Go
get this jacket. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Because you know what? You're worried that you'll open the loft and it'll be right at the front.
It'll be walking about. It'll be walking about. It's
like that. What's
Bruce Wayne coming out of retirement?
What's the film with Peter Cushing where he gets that suit made for his son to resurrect him from the dead?
The Tales from the Crypt, is that one?
Tales from the Crypt, and they put on a mannequin. The mannequin strangles the guy to death.
Oh no, I think it might be.
I think it might be Amicus.
Might be Asylum.
Yeah, maybe
Asylum. Yeah, that's a good one. I love anthology horror movies, but we've established this many times. How's the Guinness working out for you? Is that good?
Splendid. Would you like one?
I would. I'm not drinking right now though.
Thinking about the baby, are we?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not driving because I failed my driving test, everybody.
Yeah.
Great.
Not everyone passes first time. Very few. I bet the statistics for who passes first time are very low.
98%. But yeah, I was like, if I have a drink, then the baby's bound to come then, isn't it? And then I'm just going to be
knowing your luck, the baby will come as you're knee deep in corduroy jackets up in the loft.
Then I'll fall through this.
They've just fallen on top of you and you're trapped under the weight of suede.
That'd probably be a great live stream though if I left the room and then you just saw me falling through the ceiling. Look, Michael, yeah.
That's the thing. That's a kind of unsettling thing I always say, because I mean, there's been some of these live streams now where people have died on them.
Sorry, right. Gary said Black Christmas guy will be up there wearing it
with a poly bag over his head.
I like when Gary did this. We brought something from earlier on.
He made a reference.
You see, good.
But yeah,
good
there's been a few people that have died on live streams now, and there's a part of me that wonders, like what do you do? Like what? No, but like if you're a viewer, like, are you responsible for? I mean, should you have to call the police? You don't know where the guy lives.
Well, especially, are you even in the same country?
Well, that's the thing too. There's things as well. Like there's some people, if I'm playing online with people, and I just like, what if they just die while I'm on call with them? Like, can I just hang up guilt free? Because I can't just like, well, you can't just call up America and just be like, I know this guy. He lives.
Are you on that? Is it someone you know? Do you have their social media? Can you? contact someone they know.
Like, the
Right,
city then.
Right. Well,
All right, I'll post up in the thing just to let you know. I think this guy's dying if somebody knows him.
I'm just saying that you could try and do something about it. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You could try.
If they were in another country.
Even if they're in another
Contact
country.
the embassy.
If it was I don't know. For all we know, they'd have a way of figuring it out. I don't know.
Sugai 51 says, I passed my driving exams first try. Nobody likes people like that, Sugai. No one likes a boast.
I know. Ban him.
No, well done.
Yes. Congrats. Yeah, like, because we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Because I was talking about that Chinese guy that fell from the roof of that skyscraper. And,
yeah,
like,
no, but you
video of it.
Put a ladder out for him. I kept saying, if you're going to have him working on that roof,
mate, if there's no danger, there's no drama. No, it's horrible though that these things are just, they're on the internet with increasing regularity. You have this young guy in China who entered a competition to win like the equivalent of like 15 grand. And I don't know if it was to do like the most ridiculous climb or do
I remember you saying
pull-ups as high as possible, something like that. But he basically set up his camera, then walked out climbed up onto the top of this building, lowered himself off the edge, did 3 pull-ups, and then couldn't do any more and tried to pull himself up, and he just couldn't, and he had to let go eventually, and he died. And
that's such a bad trend, though. This whole jumping across roofs.
I'm terrified of it. I feel ill watching those videos. Like I'm just, even the ones where like nothing bad happens, I'm like, geez, like, I know I've got a bad history with heights. We filmed on a balcony once, didn't we? With a glass.
You didn't tell me, to be fair.
I know. I didn't realise though. See, this is the weird thing with my fear of heights. Sometimes it's okay.
Right.
I don't know why, but then other times it kicks in. And we were doing a short film for Callum's university project, and
time well spent.
It was only like what, 1 floor up, 2 floors up, something like that.
Yeah, whatever you want to believe.
Aye, so 1 floor up.
Yeah, 1 floor up it was.
How many floors were we up? I can't remember.
If you dropped a penny, it would have burnt up before it hit the ground.
I remember like the underside of the balcony was glass, and I was looking down, and I had to like remember my lines and deliver them and all that, and like in between the cuts, I was just standing there like, oh God, somebody make this stop.
Help me!
And then it was like Cal's like action, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, the performance goes overall. Yeah, no, I was just I'm just googling about this guy here that had done the he did 24. Well, it says he was trying to do a 24-hour charity live stream, but he died at 22 hours. But basically his chat kept going. This chat just thought he'd fallen asleep. But for 2 odd hours, they were watching him dead on stream.
Oh, so he'd actually just died?
Yeah.
What age was he?
Doesn't look that old. Hang on.
You watching the video?
No, not watching the video. At 35.
Mate, that's 2 years younger than me. you were saying 35. They're like, you've got plenty of time. And then as you said it, you realised Michael's already dead.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's some really unsettling shit going on with live streaming these days. I'm not saying that in any way they should restrict who can live stream, but some of the things that it's being used for are pretty fucked up. Like,
oh yeah,
like some of these recent incidents that have come. I don't want to go into any particular specifics, but there's been some real dark stuff going on. But Christ, fucking, like, why can't they put like cheery stories next to the bad ones? They've got to just keep putting more. This one's called, capital letters, Axe Sicko. Jealous dad cuts off his wife's hands with an axe in a forest because he thought she was having an affair. Turned out she wasn't.
Oh God. It was bad enough. I'm not saying the way I reacted there was as if like, well, you know, play with fire, you know, like, but no, that's horrific.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sometimes you read or you hear like a news story, like especially a horrific one, and it just stays with you. The one that I always remember.
Oh, sorry. What was this? 9-hour operation to reconnect one hand after the attack by her husband, who's been called Othello with an axe.
Oh God, or a fella with an axe.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
One of the stories, the news stories that always stayed with me was this story. It was in Glasgow. It was a butcher's. There was a father and son who were working in the butcher's. They had an argument about something, and the son went to run out of the shop or something like that, and the father had a machete in his hand and just lashed out and decapitated his son.
I think, to be honest, if you wanted to start going through some of the stories in Glasgow, I think you'd have a pretty dark time.
Let's do it, Callum.
All right, worst Glasgow murders.
Oh God, no! This is meant to be Christmas.
Well, the first result is Peter Manuel.
Yeah.
Glasgow, one of the top 10 dangerous most cities. See, that's the joke about Glasgow, because in the year that I was born, it was simultaneously the murder capital of Europe and the culture capital. So it's like, we'll stab you, but visit one of our museums before it happens.
Yeah. I think sometimes what surprises people is that it's like we have no guns, or very few guns. Like,
who needs
people don't really own them. It's all like people are like beaten to death or stabbed to death.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, particularly, I mean, in the UK, there's
Glasgow's a very friendly place as well. It sounds like it's not. It is a very friendly place. Just that there's a lot of like, there's a subculture of violence, I would say, in the sort of periphery of the city.
I think places get a bad rap though, because there's no. I mean, I don't think there's a city or maybe even a place in the world where you can truly go and be 100% safe. And I don't want to say that to people that like no one ever feels safe again. I'm just saying that generally speaking,
it's true. It's true. It's true. But some places do get like a bad reputation. It's like, I remember when I was in a youth hostel in Berlin once, and I met this big crowd of Australians, and they were all like massive rugby players. And I sat down with them, and they were like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Glasgow," and they were all like, "Have you got a baseball bat underneath your chair and all that?" And the guy that worked in the bar at the youth hostel, he was talking about like he loved like working one place for a few months and then moving on. He was trying to do all the major cities in Europe. And I was like, you should go to Glasgow. I said, I've worked in nightclubs there. I said, it's really good. I said, at that time, before the 2008 crash, it's like, it's one of the best places in the UK, probably just second to London in terms of all the clubs and things like that. And but the guy was just like, nah, I've heard stories. And that's the thing you tell people. When I was coming back when I was backpacking, I was in Paris at the end of my trip, and it was like 4 a.m. I was in this horrible little youth hostel, and I decided I wasn't meant to be going home for a couple of days, but I just decided I'm going home. So I told the 2 people I was traveling with, I woke them up, I'm like, listen, I'm going home. I had no idea how I was going to get home. Left the youth hostel, walked through Paris first thing in the morning, and then ended up going to Gare du Nord and then going up to Calais and across to Dover and to London and up to Glasgow. But anyway, so
you walked the whole way.
I walked the whole way, but I met these 2 girls who were from Australia as well, but they were actually going to Glasgow. It was just a coincidence. And so from...
Well, they weren't planning on it, but after they saw a bit of that stud muffin on the road.
From the Calais section of me going home, I just they travelled with me, or I travelled with them all the way up. And I remember, like, on the way up, they were a wee bit nervous because they were like, "Oh, we've heard terrible stories about Glasgow." And I'm like, honestly, I said, it's nowhere near as bad. Nowhere near as bad as you've heard. I said, people are actually really friendly. I said, it can be a wee bit rough, but honestly, it's totally fine. There's a lot of great characters in the city and all that sort of thing. We get to Glasgow Central, we get off the train. As we're getting off the train, the police are at one end of the train fighting a guy, trying to restrain him on the ground to the platform, and they're like, Jesus, and I'm like, nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. We walk through the train station, there's people drunk falling about. Then we walk out onto Gordon Street,
Yeah.
where the news box is.
Yeah.
And honestly, mate, it was like Armageddon. We walked out, there was a running battle going on. There was broken glass everywhere. It was as if there was a big massive gang fight going on. It was just random people like knocking fuck out of each other and rolling around on the floor and broken glass everywhere. And they looked at me like, and I said to them, and they were like, Michael, it's Wednesday night. And I'm like, I know. I was like, honestly,
I just smashed the glass bottle off a railing. Whoa, who wants some?
I'm home. But that's the thing, is that's what I'm saying. It's like your luck, like that was just really, really bad luck. It's not.
Sorry, I'm just laughing
like
there for a second because Mick's speaking to Area Shifty Bun as if Area Shifty Bun was a normal person. It's just Alan. It's our old account. He's right. I didn't mean that in an offensive way. I don't know if Mick actually knows that Area Shifty Bun's our old account.
I still want to do something with Area Shifty Bun.
Well, let's collaborate.
I definitely want to do something with it at some point. It shall return in some form or
One
another.
of our horrible comedy skits.
Yeah, because we like a good laugh. Area Shifty Bun was more about kind of. Funny thing is, our Area Shifty Bun account was kind of like these sort of pop culture channels before you had
Michael going in with another but when I was wearing Christmas jumpers before anyone else, we were doing comedy before anyone. We were ahead of our time. People didn't know what to do with us.
Right, but it was kind of like one of these sort of pop culture channels before you really had a lot of people doing that, but we didn't really know that. I think if we had actually continued doing it, I think it would have been a bigger thing than we realised.
Anyone that doesn't know Area Shifty Bun, I think there's quite a few people here that maybe do know Area Shifty Bun, but if you don't, feel free to go back and watch it, and you'll find many things of us from years gone by. I did see some rough places. Interesting you say Philadelphia. I'm glad you enjoyed Glasgow, but Glasgow is actually the architectural basis for Philadelphia. A lot of the buildings in Philadelphia are based on Glasgow. That's why when they did World War Z, it was used. Glasgow was used as the basis because, or it was used as a stand-in for America. And we've got cheap labor. That was that time where, I mean, I think they're filming the latest Avengers movie in Glasgow again, I think, but that was that time about how long ago was that?
Well, like World War Z. Yeah, I'm going to say that was 4 years ago.
Well, it was I think it was longer back than that because I was still working at Solo, so it's longer back than that. I'm thinking 2001, 2002.
Wait a minute, that's not when they did World War Z.
Yeah.
You just said 2001.
Oh, sorry, 2011, 2012.
Mate, what age were you in 2001?
2011, 2012, and World War Z came out in 2013.
What age were you in 2001?
11.
Exactly.
Right,
I was working for Solo.
Yeah, I was a big shot straight from the start, hiring and firing. Fired my own dad by the time I was 10. No, right. So 2011, 2012, because that was that time when they did that, and they did Under the Skin, which you guys should watch if you haven't seen. It's a pretty interesting film. Because I remember one of my friends calling me up because there's a scene in it on she falls down on her girl street. And like my friend picked her up at the time, didn't realize, and then later on he's like coming up, he's like, I've just picked up Scarlett Johansson. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, there was just filming a scene and somebody fell and I went to pick them up and be helpful for once. Scarlett Johansson. But it's weird to see that because I think probably one of my favorite clips of all time, and I'm sure I've talked about this on live stream before. It's her when she's in that transit van talking to that guy, trying to find out how to get to the motorway. He's like, do you know where the big Asda is? He's putting on this English accent. Sorry, I don't know. He's like, see, if you don't know where the Big Asda is, I don't know if you're going to be able to find the motorway. He's just going on about and it's just Scarlett Johansson driving around in a transit van on a match day, and you just see all these like Celtic and Rangers coming out of the stadium. She must have just been like, what the fuck is this country? Football. You know what it's like.
Yeah, it's fun. Did they not do did they not shoot a tiny little bit of the Dark Knight Dark Knight Rises?
Yes, but that was up north.
Yeah, but I thought there was a piece they shot on a bit of motorway or something like that up here.
I don't think so. They definitely filmed the opening part of it where the plane gets split in half.
Yeah,
what sort of man?
Man.
It's like a bad Sean Connery accent. That whoever did the because I really like the Dark Knight, but even the Dark Knight's is the start of the audio issues that plagued that series. Yeah. Like whoever was doing the sound effects for it, fucking hell.
His voice is fine in Batman Begins. You can't say that Christian Bale is blameless though for like he definitely.
No, but the thing is isn't he though? Because apparently Christopher Nolan was like ham it up a bit, and then later on in post they really ragged it up. Because I mean, Leslie, another one wearing hockey pads. What? Yeah. Like Batman shouldn't be intimidating because you can't understand them.
I love Michael Keaton's voice when he's Batman. It's just shit hot.
Kevin Conroy, like for me,
yeah.
But Kevin Conroy is like the definitive Batman.
But I think Kevin Conroy was doing a Keaton. That's what I think when I listen to him. Because
kind of. I mean, like on screen,
he's got a little bit of the whisper going on, and I think that. Don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Conroy is amazing.
Correct.
I mean, like I don't know. I remember I was listening to Fat Man on Batman, the Kevin Smith podcast, or one of the many Kevin Smith podcasts, and they were talking about how if they were trying to do something where they could just bring like the current DC universe, cinematic universe, basically to an end, so they could start again, but could actually just continue it in some way, so they don't look as if they've completely given up on it. And like someone was saying, like do like the sort of Crisis on Infinite Earth sort of thing, and they're like have Michael Keaton turn up as Batman. Do you know what I mean?
Now that he's in Marvel, I don't think they'd do it. But I wish actually it's on another hard drive. But I could have brought up footage of when I was 5 years old, my Batman party. I could try and find it.
Well, wait a minute though. There's other kids on that.
So it's my party. They're not kids now. Presumably they're all the same age as me.
Retrospective abuse, mate.
My babysitter at the time was dressed as Batgirl.
Oh yeah,
it's an interesting video.
Show me. No,
later on.
Yeah,
but it's just me at 5 years old running around as Batman, terrorizing people. I had a phase where my parents had to buy me 2 Batman costumes because it was what I would wear 24/7, and I had at least 3 Captain Scarlet costumes because when one was in the wash, I had to put on another Captain Scarlet costume in case I was ever called into action.
You really have a thing for Captain Scarlet, though.
Captain Scarlet. If I could get the rights for a gritty 18 Captain Scarlet, I'd be all over that.
But at the end of the day, though, is that what Captain Scarlet is, though?
Yes. Do you know how gritty Captain Scarlet is? Captain Scarlet shot a woman that was like, she was reaching for something. He's like, don't reach for it. And she called his bluff. And a kid's TV show, and he shot her off the side of a cliff. And then just went home. He's like, right, that's me done. See ya.
You don't mess with Captain Scarlet.
You fuck.
The business.
No.
The business. Captain
Scarlet. And actually, a lot of the Jerry Anderson, Thunderbirds not so much, but like a lot of the Jerry Anderson stuff dealt with quite big issues. Particularly Captain Scarlet.
I just loved in the Jerry Anderson like puppet shows where they do a close up of somebody's hand and it'd be like
just someone else's hand. Yeah, it's great.
Something.
No, Captain Scarlet was utter brilliance. I think Captain. I'm trying to. If I had to
Does sound
rank,
like, it does sound like Cary Grant, though, right?
no,
Yeah,
but he's modelled on Cary
yeah,
Grant.
yeah.
But there's a really creepy Captain Scarlet website I found not that long ago where people have taken the puppets' faces and put them on real bodies
Oh God.
to create bios. And there's like Captain Grey. It's like here he is surfing like a mannequin. I'm going to try and find this. Right, hang on.
That sounds terrifying.
It is.
What was the one that I liked? One I liked was Terrorhawks.
Oh, that's a creep. That
That
was
was
a
really,
creepy show
yeah.
because they didn't use the old marionettes from the other stuff. They used the kind of rubber puppets. And what was her name? Was it Zelda? Was she the bad
Zelda,
one?
yeah. She was the witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely terrifying. Scared the shit out of me.
Terrahawks was a great show. And all the Jerry Anderson stuff, there's like UFO, Space 1999 was a big thing.
Terrorhawks Jerry Anderson?
Yeah.
Is it?
Fuck yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure.
Jerry Anderson did some great work until his wife just fucking destroyed his career. After she left, she got the rights to everything, I think.
Well, I just got, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I just got...
Mind you, Sylvia Anderson did a lot of stuff. I mean, she came up with Lady Penelope and she did the voices and a whole lot of stuff. So, you know, no smoke without fire.
Fair play to... I've just got an email from Patreon there. Probably shouldn't be checking email while I'm on the live stream.
A lot of people are losing their mind about this whole, like...
Well, I just got an email there from... and they're saying they're not going to do it now. They're not going to change their payment structure. So
yeah, because there was a big backlash about it because it was going to put the fees onto the people rather than the content creator, which is not right.
Yeah. Basically, excuse me.
So that's all right.
Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Yawn. Yeah. Patreon's a strange thing. I do like it, but I keep meaning to up my... See, that's the thing. I never know what to do with the Patreon with... I've got it set up so that it's like, right, I only ever charge on Patreon on a month that I upload a brand new story, like a written story. But then also there's other stuff I give away for free, like higher versions of the podcast and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the moment, frosty, but at the moment I'm like, if you want to support the show, check out my Patreon. Because obviously, if I write stories, they're going to get made into Ghastly Tales episodes. I don't know if at some point it'd be worth us setting up a separate Ghastly Tales one, but then I don't know.
It's a difficult thing because it's the balance of like a lot. I think a lot of people, as soon as they get a bit of attention online, they're like immediate responses like, let's go Patreon. And I think there's a ton of people that don't need it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's difficult because, like, I mean, when we do like short films and stuff, we obviously spend a bit of money. We spend a bit of money doing stuff like Ghastly Tales of Scotland and stuff like that, and we've got hosting stuff for the podcast and stuff, and maybe something to cover the basic costs and stuff. But there's some of these people that are just doing like the odd vlog, and like their immediate response is just like, oh well, I've got 1,000 subs, or like I've seen a guy the other day that had like 500 subs. He's like, right, well, to go to the next level, I need a Patreon straight away. I need a new computer. I need this, and you're like,
that's ridiculous. Go fuck yourself. No, like I mean, we've got like, I would say we spend a few £100s a year on Ghastly Tales at the moment.
Collectively, you think?
Yeah, well, even the... Well, I was just thinking about even just the hosting, like the hosting for the...
Oh, right, okay. On stuff like that, yeah. I think, though, in like travel and all that kind of shit for some of the films and the
way more than
stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I think maybe at some point, but yeah, I do agree with you. I think we're too small fry at the moment to be...
Well, it's a weird thing. Like, I think certain people have different expectations because I mean we don't even monetize that much stuff that we do.
No,
I think there's some people that are like, they're just like, right, well, if I'm uploading stuff straight away, I should just be getting money for what I do. And like, I'm not against, you know, the idea of taking it, but it's
I'm not against
it. Yeah, I was like, just give me money. But what about people that use Kickstarter to pay them to write a damn book?
Oh dear, Aaron.
Is that you?
You mean me? Yeah, I did a Kickstarter once, so yeah.
That's not malicious, though.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's a whole other saga that we can get into in another video.
Let's get into it now. Let's get into it. I've thought about. Gary says I've thought about Patreon before, but I just don't think it would work for me having to try and set reward levels. I'd rather people just buy a print, etc. Could be great for you guys. Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. Like,
we're definitely going to
set commitment to do stuff as well.
We're definitely going to set up a store, though. We've talked about that.
That's true. There's a few people that have been asking about stuff, and there does need to be a better way to get stuff. Plus, Alan's got all these designs that I'm sure.
We want a place where we can put like the books, the art stuff that we've got, the t-shirts, and also in the long term, hopefully selling like DVDs and things like that to projects that we've done. I mean, that would be my idea of best supporting us in the long term. Hopefully, is going to be that we actually have products that we sell just like anybody else, and it's like, well, if you enjoy our stuff, you can buy the products, and if you can buy like a special 10-hour collection of audio stories, or you can
Original Stephen, that's quite often a live stream, who's in the Discord, bought one of our t-shirts recently. But we're going to be changing. I think we're going to be changing the site to work it out, because there's a few sites like Teespring and stuff like that I think are a bit better set up for international stuff. You know, they don't penalize people so much for buying from different countries. I think that's one of the problems. I think we've got some like a 60% American viewership, which is funny because we obviously like stream at times that are fine for us, but probably fuck over a lot of our American viewers. Sorry.
Yeah, we end up with a bigger stream audience usually when we stream a bit later, I think. But
that's the thing. I think Stephen's UK based, and he'd ordered off of the site that we had set up just now. We never thought about it, and then obviously he had to pay the import tax and stuff. Which I'm so sorry that that was the case. I had no idea. But I think even it was really Alan that had kind of set it up, not even thinking about it, not really expecting that anyone would kind of be interested in their stuff. And lo and behold, the Ghastly train just keeps on jugging.
Yeah. I think our main goal right now, though, is just to try and get back into putting out some regular content again. Yeah, putting out some regular content again, because it's been a while. Really, it's been since the summer. We sort of stopped putting things out every single week, really, like in July, I think it was.
This month we've been we've
been back at it, and mainly down to your efforts, sir.
Team effort.
But yeah, I don't know. I think we've got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of good things happening in 2018, hopefully. So,
out of interest, Aaron, where are you based? Are you in Australia then? If it's 2:33 p.m.
Would that not be 12? Oh.
That's 20 hours either. Well,
20 hours.
20 hours behind, or
what are we talking about?
Or 24 hours ahead. Wait, no,
not
24 hours ahead.
Hey, yeah, we've got you.
Sorry, 10 hours behind. Sorry.
Callum does math.
Yeah, sorry. For a second there, I wasn't thinking 10 hours behind. Normally my math's good. Oh, so California's 10 hours behind, because I know that like Philadelphia and that kind of general area is like either is like 5 or something, 5 or 6. I'm not going to go around all the world clocks. That could take a while.
I know. Let's get everybody's time zone. So anyway,
thank you, Gary.
The elephant in the room. The elephant in... sorry.
Gary was just congratulating us on the recent short.
I would say thank you, but I didn't do anything.
What do you call it? It's kind of a... yeah, that's right. It's very much a Hideo Kojima tribute, Gary, as you well know. 4:35 here. I suppose in the afternoon. Australia's a funny one. They're like way ahead of us, aren't they?
You know, is they not like nearly a day ahead?
It's 25 to 10 in the morning in Australia. GMT plus 11. Depending on where you are.
Australia must have more than one time zone, though.
Yes. Kingston is plus 11 GMT. Adelaide's 10:30 GMT. Perth is plus 8. And guess what's plus 7? Christmas Island. Hooray!
Fantastic. Anyway, I think I'm flagging, to be honest.
You're flagging.
I'm flagging, I feel like I'm flagging.
Well,
I know. How long have we been on? An hour and a half?
Not even, because we were late.
How late were we? Really?
Quite late. It's the people's justice. They'll decide.
How late were we?
No, that's fine. If you're feeling tired, if you feel that you've done enough, Michael, that's fine.
Oh, the guilt trip.
I'm not putting a guilt trip on.
You are putting a guilt trip on me.
No. Honestly, that's all I'm saying.
You could just sit here in your wee Santa costume.
I'll stay here all night, mate. I'm not scared.
Well, when are we getting the Twitch stuff going? Because we were talking about.
I'll need to restart that. I had talked about the idea of streaming to multiple platforms simultaneously. We did some testing yesterday, but it wasn't quite conclusive enough to properly do it. But it will happen. I'm still also talking as well as I have gone into the process of sorting out some stuff to do the on location streams that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So I've picked up a few things. So stay tuned within the next couple of months. So maybe try and do some on location streams. I thought about a really, really mental idea for a stream where I might try and get as close to 24 hours on a stream as I could, mobile.
On the toilet?
No, not on the toilet.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it takes much less. I mean, I'm not that old, Michael. It doesn't take me 24 hours on the toilet.
How are you going to poo?
All right, okay. All right, okay. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to constantly do it. I mean, you could like turn the camera away, and then in the background you just hear.
Don't look at me! Don't look at me!
Yeah, till it slowly turns itself round.
That's when the AI.
I love that that's your fault rather than like, oh yeah, you know, that's an interesting idea. Let's try and do something. How are you gonna shit? You've not thought about that, have you, dummy?
No, like I think the on location stuff would be really good. I think especially like we were talking about doing something where like we're sort of driving about and going to different locations around Glasgow. I think that would be ace. Like going to different graveyards and stuff like that.
Let's do it.
Amazing. Let's do it right now, Callum.
You can get into the necropolis after a certain time at night as well. That would be. I tested it the other day, and the necropolis has 4G.
Why?
But why did I test it? Because I was thinking.
No, why does the dead need 4G?
It's a good question, but it was quite funny because I was thinking about the last time. Me and Martin had been up there when we were filming the Phantom Process, which is something I said in that update video, and I just moved that hat there, just kind of stroked it like it was a beautiful mane of hair. Just a hat, unfortunately. But no, when we were up there filming the Phantom Process, a guy had come up like a total junkie. Had come up and was just giving us absolute nonsense chat. And at one time he's like, "What camera have you got?" And I was like, this is the camera I've got. I was like, it's the C100. He's like, all right, yeah, I know. He's like, I've got a camera that's 1,000,000 times better than that.
Oh God!
And like, because I've not got a filter. I was like, oh, I didn't know they kind of made a C100 million. And the guy was like, "You being cheeky?"
Oh God!
And Martin, you know what Martin's like? It's just like tolerance level reach. We were just standing there, but the two of us, and eventually the guy was like, "You shouldn't be filming here. I'm gonna go and get the park ranger."
Honestly,
he's like, I'm gonna get the guys that mind this place. And I was like, yes, I think they'll be slightly more annoyed about you being here. And I think, lo and behold, nobody turned up. But
some people, honestly, there are some people in this world, and all they want to do, and I actually feel sorry for them, is they have no power on their own lives, so they try and exert power whenever they can. Key example of this would be when I failed my driving test. Then we came home, and my driving instructor decided to drive back for us because he could jump in the motorway and get us back home quicker. We stopped outside this the house across the street from my mum and dad's, and there's this house. It's just always had these people in it who are a bit, well, we call them the maniacs, right? That's what they've been referred to. And I actually felt sorry for them for a long time, because I used to be like, well, people have maligned them, and I used to always walk by them and say hello, never once get a hello by, but always just try to be nice with them. But we we parked outside their garden. There was a driveway, and the woman comes to the window as soon as we're parked there, and we're just stopping there for like a couple of minutes. And the streets where my mum and dad live are really, really narrow. There's cars everywhere, basically, so it's really difficult to get a parking space. Anyway, so we parked there, just chatting for a little bit, just kind of like, right, here's what you need to work on for the next time you do your test, all that sort of stuff. And she's going mental at the window. You fucking this, fucking that, just shouting and screaming at us. And I'm like, so I'm getting out of the car, and I'm like that to him. She's not even got a car. She's got a driveway, but she doesn't have a car. So like, no one is going to use that driveway at all anyway. And it's not,
that's her choice.
It's not a legal entry point into our property anyway. It's not. It's the police would not move you along for parking.
For doing a donut right through our gravel. No one's using this driveway. Back in the house, so you're crone.
Like it's
with a corduroy jacket on.
Parking in front of a driveway is like a matter of courtesy. That's all it is. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to sit in front of a driveway, because it's not a legal entry. But anyway, I'm boring myself here. So. But she's just shouting and swearing, and all I'd said was, "Aye, all right." And I turned around to my instructor, like, "I better go," and she went nuclear, because all I said was, "Aye, all right."
Do you find, I mean, in your experience in life, do you find generally that replying to women in a dismissive tone goes well for you? And my experience has not gone particularly well. That's from cradle to probably very close grade.
She went absolute nuts. She went nuts.
Oh, to come out of the house.
She's shouting about she's going to get me stabbed and all this, and I'm just like, and I know, and the thing is, I actually feel sorry for her, because I think she's obviously got mental health issues. She used to see that.
Well, people keep parking in your driveway.
Have I told you this story before? Right, seeing the house next to where she lived, there was this other woman that lived there, and this woman really had severe.
Before we carry on, do you want me to pour one out for Kings Park?
Yeah, on you. So, like, there was. Yeah, so there was the house next to this person's house, and there was another woman that lived there, and she had a couple of kids, but the woman just she wasn't well. She obviously had extreme learning difficulties, but that family, the one I was just talking about there, they took advantage of her all the time, right? And there was a lot of weird stuff happened. So one of the times, right, a neighbor phoned the police because in the middle of the night, right, at like 2 or 3 in the morning, the maniac's family were out. They'd climbed into that woman's garden, and they were hammering and sawing to get the climbing frame.
What?
She had like a full climbing frame for like her kids and all that, and they were trying to get it, and then just put it into their garden. Because this girl
just
had
like easily transplanted.
Yeah. And then one day we had a problem with the electrical line going into our house. So we had these workmen out to work on it. So they're working on that, and then And this ended up being apparently a complete coincidence. It was nothing to do with what they were doing, but the power went out on a couple of the houses across the street.
Right. So
one of the workies went, that woman came across shouting a ball, and yous have done this for that. And the guy's like, this is nothing to do with what's over there. So he's like, honestly, it's just a coincidence. He says, I'll take a look. So he goes into the other girl's house, the one that has learning difficulties. And it's like a 4 in a block. Right, so there's someone living above her through the wall and diagonally up. She had, I can't remember what it was, but basically the meter, the electrical meter in her house, had someone from like upstairs had obviously managed to sweet talk their way into her house and had rigged up something so that all of the electricity just went through her meter. And they didn't have a meter upstairs.
Fucking hell.
And it was just like...
It's pretty nuts that though, isn't it?
Awful, awful.
On the one hand, it's like, it's all well and good taking advantage of like a big electricity company, but to have the goal to take advantage of like...
Someone's went into that poor woman's house and...
In good faith.
Rewired. No, but what I'm saying
but
is,
like, as far as she knows, yeah.
And not only that as well, see, because she ended up having to move and she used to come and like sit in our garden and all that, and it was a real. She just used to come walk over and sit in our garden because there was people there, and we all tried to be nice to her, you know, but but she'd had also when she left. This is what I get told anyway, is that other family had ordered loads of shit on her catalogue.
Fucking hell.
I know. That's the quality of people you're dealing with, you know. But I sounds like I'm doubt. Like, see the place where mom and dad live. I absolutely love it. Do you know what I mean? But like there's some strange things going on. I felt like when I was a kid,
not like Stranger Things. Sorry, there's not like.
No, I'm telling you, not like the Upside Down. But like when I was a kid, I used to feel like Kings Park, which I love. Anyone from Kings Park, the movie watching this, I love Kings Park.
What's the story called? Is it King's Drift? Is set in Kings Park?
Yeah, there's a couple that are Pass It On as well, but it felt like a bit like Erie, Indiana or something like that. There was always like weird stuff going on, which obviously added into me becoming a writer and telling stories. But yeah,
Kings Park is like your main. Is what you're basically saying. Like if you were Stephen King, it would be your main.
I would love to do a book of short stories that all just take place in Kings Park, because that's like,
it's like the most colloquial thing in the world.
But I
suppose it's no different from setting it in Maine, really, is it?
Not except for Maine's a much larger place. Kings Park's got a population of 2,000. Be more like setting it in Castle Rock, I suppose. He's always setting things. But
fucking Braggle Rock.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I would like to do more stories set there, because it brings the sealed building as well. Was another one that I did that was set in Kings Park, and I think it's you just kind of, I don't know, the Kings Park is like a place that I just love it. It's every inch of it is like branded on your soul. That
you always have fondness, don't you? For child.
Oh.
Funnily enough, this is my last Christmas at my I say childhood home from the age of like 6 to like 15.
Yeah, that's childhood home.
But we've had it ever since. But I mean, I haven't lived there for like.
Sorry, Laura knows what I'm talking about. She lived in Croftfoot, which is right next to Kings Park. There were strange goings on all around those areas. I agree, Laura. Great places, but
Laura, don't encourage them.
Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, basically, I was saying. I think this is our last Christmas at that house.
Last Christmas at this house.
So
the very next day.
Get into that what you want. But I mean, I don't feel particularly sentimental about it. But
you're not a particularly sentimental person, though. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, that's true. My sister is. She's particularly sentimental, but I think the rest of us aren't.
I think you can be a little bit about some things, but most of the time...
But Luke Skywalker mainly, but we'll not get into that.
Yeah. I know.
Spoilers.
I know. I went on a bit of a rant about that tonight when Kirsty's dad appeared, and he was like, And you feel terrible because like people are like really looking forward to going to see Star Wars, and you feel like you're the kind of Ebenezer Scrooge in the corner going, "It's not good. it's not good."
See, ever since like the special editions came out, like when the special editions came out, I was 7, and ever since they came out, me and my dad have always gone to the cinema to see them.
Yeah.
And this year, I said to him, "I don't think I'm going."
If he wants to go, though, you should go.
He does want to go, but
and you should go. And you should go.
Oh,
you have to go, mate. If your dad, like, if it's something yous have done, the two of you since you were kids, and then your dad's like, "Oh, but I would still quite like to go," then you should go.
But if I mean, right, let's place it this way, right? I spent half my childhood after the Captain Scarlet phase dressed as Luke Skywalker. And if that's an important memory for him, and we go to the new one and they've just destroyed his character, then, I mean, am I destroying his memory of my childhood?
Your dad's going to watch it regardless, though, isn't he? Like, he may not go
No,
to
he
cinema,
won't go and see it, but I don't go and see it.
Yeah, but he'll watch it at some point.
He won't?
No, I mean, he may not go to the cinema, but he'll watch it at some point on, like, TV.
I don't know if he will.
He will.
If I tell him not to watch it.
No, that is rubbish. That is rubbish.
No.
Dad,
no. Dad, trust me, honors degree in film. I know that nobody listens to me about it. That's in my family. It's like I like try and make a recommendation about a film. My mom will be like, "What do you know about it?" Trust me, I know what makes a good film. That's right. Risk Congeniality 2 might be good. Okay, shut up.
Yeah. So this is going to be your last Christmas in your old family home, then?
That's the belief. So it'll be interesting. It's a nice house, but it's one of those funny ones where it's been. I mean, my mum's big into interior design. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but she's been working on it ever since she's had it. She's had it since I've been about 6. And I kind of maybe 1 or 2 years ago just got it to the point where she was happy with it.
Yeah.
And she's kind of been living abroad, and she's never really lived properly in that house at a time where she's had it a point where she's happy with it, and now she's finally selling it. So I think it's a big deal for her, but for me, it's been so long since I've been there. Like when I go back, I feel like a bit of a stranger in the house, but you know what I'm like.
Yeah, it's weird because like I've spoken to a few people about this, about the idea of, I think most people have like at least a couple of homes when they're growing up.
Sure.
Like, maybe move at least once. Whereas like I didn't move until I was 33. Yep.
Yeah.
So like when I left home to come and live with my wife, like it was absolutely devastating for me. That sounds terrible, but like it was heart-wrenching for me because it was all I knew. And but the funny thing is I felt like I often described myself as I felt like I was haunting Kings Park at that point because like most of my friends had left, moved on, got their lives together and all that sort of thing. And I felt like I knew deep down that I really did need to go somewhere else. Like moving just a few streets away probably wouldn't have been good for me because then I'd have probably stayed in Kings Park for the rest of my life. And I don't know if that's a good, I mean, I think if you're happy doing that's lovely. But I think it's good to go somewhere else.
It's funny as well. It's very easy to, in a place like Scotland particularly, it's very easy to just slot into a belief of just being like, oh, well, that's where my family's always been. And a very few people realise how small a place it is.
Yeah.
And, if they've not travelled or whatever, not to say that by travelling you're automatically better than another person, but you do get an appreciation for other things. You get cultures or whatever, and I think that it's very easy to get into this point of just going, oh well, I'll just stay there and everything's perfect there. But actually, if you've got nothing to compare it to, how do you know? But I mean, for me, like up until I was about 6, I was in Glasgow, and then I moved out to the country, and then when I was about 16, I was desperate to get back there because my dad always worked in Glasgow as well, so I spent a long time in Glasgow back seeing him, and I always had a connection with it, and I've been back here, so I've lived here most of my life.
Yeah.
Now, like, it was automatic for me to come back, and I bumped into people here that used to live in the same place or went to school with me or whoever. They're like, you've got to come back, and I'm like, there's no connection for me. I really do not give a fuck.
you can tell you're not from Glasgow though in terms of your accent.
Yeah, people do say that. No,
it's not. It's not really. It's not like grossly different. If you know what I mean. It's not. It's not really, really different.
But
it's
see,
just slightly different.
see the risk of being a cunt, right? I do try and moderate my accent a bit because it's really easy to just fall into and to deliberately get you know that way with the Glasgow accent you deliberately mess up certain words.
Aye. Yeah,
and it's quite easy just to fall
like
into that thing.
The way I speak it, like, because when I'm speaking normally like this, I'm not enunciating. I'm not, But when I do because then when people hear me doing like, if I'm doing vlogs or especially if I'm doing narrations, people are like, that doesn't sound like you at all. And it's like, well, I'm not speaking like I would normally speak because
we all also have a quote unquote telephone voice, don't they?
Yeah,
try and change themselves from what they are. But I like at the risk, like I say, at the risk of sounding like a really pretentious cunt, I try to inundate, or I try to spend a lot of my time. Like, it's like if you've got the benefit of a decent education, try and speak properly and use the words that you know.
You're a snob. You're a fucking snob.
But the more you drink, the more it starts to come out, and the more you're just like, oh, everything breaks down along with all right. It's true.
Before you know it, you're just shouting Glasgow Rangers.
Oh no. But it's funny as well.
Everyone, I'm a Celtic supporter.
I came across a forensic psychologist once. Forensic mind reader, but he also called himself a forensic psychologist. I'm not going to name names, but the guy was a wanker. But basically, it was one of these people that kind of modeled himself on, like the new Sherlock Holmes, the kind of Benedict Cumberbatch type. After that came out, there was quite a few people that called themselves forensic mind readers that remodeled themselves after that, and they had a kind of demographic that they worked with, where they were like, and funnily enough, I spoke to him about it, and he was like, "Oh, if I'm doing like tricks on people, I usually try and go for like women between the ages of like 18 and 25 that are blonde." And I'm like, "Well, that seems a little bit sexist and generalization," but so, "Oh no, that always works." But he used to have this thing which he prided himself on. He could work out accents within 5 miles.
Right.
And for me, he didn't have a fucking clue. Because I used to like just drift between different, and I can understand how it would be quite difficult. And that's one of the things as well. Like, I really like Glasgow a lot, but I'm under no false assumptions by any means that it's the best place in the world. But I do realize my accent's a bit of a fucking mess, generally speaking.
I don't know if I don't know why I went so high there.
I sound a bit like my dad.
I wouldn't say that it's a mess. It doesn't. It just doesn't quite. So it's kind of like when it's a strange thing with.
You've touched a sore point for me, Michael.
My wife comes. Have I?
Yeah. Listen, culturally, I feel very violated right now. Like, where are you from? What's this kind of strange?
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying to you is that you've got an accent that is just subtly different from Glaswegian. It's not like going to Edinburgh and hearing you can really tell it's.
I sound a lot like my dad, and it's funny because he's from Johnston. And my mum's from Preston Pans, so like that combination should be pretty much mean that I should be dead by now. But it's kind of funny, like my dad is always funny as well, because like he was like the first person in his family to go to university or whatever, or whatever. Sorry, back then probably more of a big thing, but do that. Things changed out a bit, and he's always been kind of fairly softly spoken in that sense. And then obviously, by part and parcel of his job, he's kind of travelled a lot. You have to moderate it a bit, and he's funny as well because he's the same as me. The more he drinks or whatever, the more the Glasgow side of it comes out, and you realise that no one can understand you, especially when you're abroad. So you try and moderate yourself a bit, but like my mum always makes the joke that like as soon as my dad starts to have a drink, no one has a fucking clue what he says. He sounds like Rabsy Nesbitt. But it's not a way that people actively change stuff because they're ashamed of what they are. But I think it's like if you've got an awareness of other people's understanding of you, or if you know what it sounds like, you try and change yourself a bit to help it. Because I always feel terribly guilty about the fact that we only speak the one language. I used to speak German okay when I was younger, but I never kept it up. But I feel that we're actually a terrible Are you holding up a Ghastly Tales card?
Yes. Yes, I am.
You want to play that fucking game? You want to play that
I am.
fucking game?
Yeah.
Because I've got the entire fucking packet here. But like, I feel that we're at a terrible disadvantage because we speak the lingua franca. Like, because we speak English, we've got no incentive most of the time to learn anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, a good idea to be bilingual. The most messed up one that I'd ever heard.
Well, there's a question very quickly before you go on.
No.
Your impending child.
No.
Will you make an effort to try and teach them a second language from a young age?
I don't know if I'll make it an effort to be like, you have to. I think.
I mean, I'm not talking about forcing them, but when they're younger, they're more of a sponge.
They seem to be doing it more and more in like primary classes now. In the way, like, I did a tiny bit, I think, right at the end of primary, but I think they're doing more now with that. Maybe, but what I was going to say was that when it comes to changing the way that you speak so that you can be understood. Like one of my friends, Bruce, he comes from Shetland, and
some of the island accents.
I used to, but he's got anyone could understand him. When we went backpacking, other people understood him perfectly, and they kept saying to me, "Can't understand the word he's saying because he speaks too fast." Because the Glaswegian way of speaking is very, very quick.
Yeah,
but what I realised was that when I then went to Shetland and heard Bruce talking to his family and to his friends, and they were all talking to each other, and some of the islands around the Shetland Isles, going to some places where I went on a salmon fishing boat, where his girlfriend at the time, her dad was a Norwegian boat, but he was from Shetland, but he was from this obscure island on the Shetland Isles where they had like almost like their own accent, and Bruce had to interpret for me because I was walking around and I'm like, was he speaking English? And Bruce is like, yeah, but it's a sort of, we call it Shetland because it's kind of a mix of things, but it was really just the way he spoke was just really, really difficult to understand. But Bruce himself, what I realized was that when he was down, because we went to university together, so when he was down here in Glasgow, he was talking in just a completely different way than he would. And now, bizarrely, his job is going around the islands and going around the mainland, promoting the idea of all the different dialects around Scotland and trying to preserve them.
Well, that's the thing. I did some work for Born a Gaelic for a while, and they're really big on pushing that just now. And the thing is, we did a whole ton of research into the benefits of. Actually, there's a ton of stuff I want to say, but very quickly I need to head to the toilet. Are we want to sign off, or? There's a couple of things I want to say, but I know
what do you want to say?
Well, I kind of need to go to the toilet, so I'm in a quandary. I know you want to go, but
pee in a cup.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? What is it regarding, Callum?
I kind of want to go.
What's it regarding?
It's called children, right? I've got a funny joke about but a funny joke about children learning languages.
No.
Right, okay. There are people talking in the chat. If you want to hold court for like 2 seconds,
I can do that. That's fine.
Right. Before I go, I'll just say quickly. I was working for Born a Gaelic, which is a local agency that tries to promote Gaelic speaking, which is one of the native languages in Scotland. And one of the guys that did it was a big member of it. Had a Sicilian wife, and they taught the children how to speak it. And he taught his son how to speak Italian, and his wife was Italian, and she taught him how to speak Italian, and his dad always spoke to him in English. So he learned a different language from each people, and he grew up for the first few years of his life thinking that women spoke in Italian and men only spoke in English. So he would go up to like guys to start speaking to them in English, and we find that anytime he came across a woman, he would just start speaking to them in Italian. But I'm sure even a tiny little man like that, if he started speaking to women in Italian, was probably quite successful.
That's awesome. Go and
It's,
pee.
it's just the way kids think.
Go and pee.
Thank you very much, Michael. I'll be back momentarily.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember how to remove headphones.
All right, everyone. It's just you and me, and that's it now. I'm just going to look at the chat. How yous all doing? Hi, Amber. I hadn't seen you in the chat. And Angela and Kino Writing. How you all doing? Yeah, like, since we're talking about Christmas things, we were talking about Christmas things earlier on, I'm currently working on a Christmas short story. I try and put one out every year, but obviously with the way things are at the moment, I'm hoping this one will make it out before Christmas. It's called The Carol Singers. I think it's quite a cool little story about this rural street or collection of houses that become kind of beset upon by these things called the carol singers. But anyway, so I'm sort of working on that at the moment when I can. Callum heading to the toilet. Area shift to bun. Yes, he is, Alan. Yes, he is. So I've been working on that. And also I released a book years ago called On a Hill. It's like a little novella. And I'm releasing a second edition, but I've done a bizarre thing, which is the second edition's kind of turned into a short story collection. So it's now On a Hill and Other Scottish Ghost Stories. And that's what I'm going to be releasing. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Hello.
What's
Hello.
the topic of conversation?
I just sat in silence.
Oh, right, okay. As per usual, the ringleader is back.
2.0 says, what the fuck is going on in here?
Very good question, Kim Mikey. Is something we're very rarely knowing ourselves.
So was that everything you wanted to say about that?
Well, for now, yeah. It's a funny one. It's the whole Gaelic teaching thing. I know. Was it Laura just saying it?
This is going to be boring.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about languages.
Well, Laura was just saying that her daughters are Gaelic speakers, but it's a funny one. I mean, they do say that like kids, or particularly people that learn one language in general, find it a lot easier to pick up a second language. But the Gaelic one's always a funny one, I think, because it's kind of like, if you're going to spend your time doing that, you might as well learn like Spanish or Mandarin rather than a dead language.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah, I kept that to myself. Although I did actually at one point when I was staying in the Sky filming as part of the Gaelic the Gaelic speaking thing, I did bring that up with someone, and funnily enough, a lot of the ones that were doing it were at the media school at Solmarostig on Sky. Were saying that actually the reason a lot of them were doing it is because you get a pretty much guaranteed job,
right?
So if we have a thing called, obviously a lot of you guys will know the BBC. There's BBC Alba, which is a certain part of that, which is just a Gaelic speaking part, which is one of the native languages of Scotland if you don't think about the Picts. Basically, BBC Alba has a very small pool of people that it hires from, and if you learn to speak Gaelic, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a job.
So let's all get a job with them then. That's what Callum's saying. All go together. What's your favourite Christmas song, Callum?
Fucking Max just neutralised someone in the chat accidentally. Bang. Favourite Christmas song? Christmas songs are a funny one because I'm under the impression that there hasn't been like a good Christmas song and I mean, like, when was the last time like a fresh Christmas song came out? Like, honestly, when you think about it,
that like a brand new Christmas song that
that will get repeated every year. Don't talk about Michael Bublé.
I think the closest I can think, and it doesn't even really. There's two more which they're not really modern. They're 20 years old now, but like, it's the two newest ones that I can think of that still they get played every now and then, and one would be a Proper Crimbo. Do you remember?
Selector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes see that still on the telly, and The Darkness did one. Don't Let the Bell End.
But was that? I thought all the Darkness ones were just like re-releases of stuff. They did like a new song.
No, that's yeah. All
Proper Bell End.
don't let them don't let the bells end.
How did that get? Yeah. Fucking right.
Yeah,
Laura. If you can send them to Solmer Ostig, send them to the Media College, get them onto because I'll be honest, I met a couple of the people that were working there and they were shit. The only reason they were getting jobs is because they spoke.
Okay, just remember this is your career, Callum. So
that's fine. That's a beautiful thing about working freelance. It's like someone's like, "I'll call your boss." It's like, call him, call him.
It looks like
he ain't gonna do shit.
So that's actually the last time I can think of a Christmas song that still gets played occasionally on mixes and things like that. But really, the last Christmas song that really it's stuff from the 80s. Like last Christmas, do they know it's Christmas time? What's the Shaky Stevens one?
Fuck, we're going back. But that's the thing. It's
I love about Shaky Stevens though. Do you know what I love about Shaky?
Not Shaky Stevens. It's Shaking Stevens. Shaky Stevens. Just some other guy you've invented.
No, he's on the neurology ward. Shaky Stevens.
Listen,
I've been calling him Shaky Stevens my entire life.
100%.
Remember he did a cover. Remember, like one of his most famous songs is "This Old House."
Yeah,
"This Old House," right? Which is a cover.
Shaky Stevens.
My whole life.
Yeah, Shaky Stevens.
Shaky Stevens.
It's bad enough as Shaking Stevens. He needs to sort that out.
The song "This Old House" is actually about people are like, "Oh, this is a nice old song, this old house," and it's actually about finding a dead body. That's what that song's about.
I know.
That's what that song's about, finding a dead body, and it was about the person who wrote it found this little shack in the middle of nowhere, and when they went inside, the guy who built it or owned it was in there just dead. He'd just been dead for ages.
What celebrity was everyone? Who was it that someone died in his pool again?
Michael Barrymore.
Yeah, Michael Barrymore. Shaky Stevens probably knew him.
Shaky Stevens. You put a picture of Shaky Stevens up for anyone.
No, I'll be struggling finding Shaky Stevens, I'll be honest. I can't believe you made it this far in life and no one's corrected you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like the cultural zeitgeist, but
I've always thought that it was Shaky Stevens. It's like up until I was 21, I realised that I was calling both the North and the South Pole the Antarctic.
They've got to meet together at some point.
But Shaky Stevens is... I'm still doing that.
Gotta stop that. Sorry, you're triggering me.
Shaking Stephen. Shaking Stephen. It's not even Stevens now. And the other thing as well, apparently he's a right dick.
Kim Mikey says that Mickey's Santa's elves gagging me. Kim, don't worry. As long as I'm around, I'll make sure that you've got a form to speak. Please just leave out the racist stuff.
Yeah, no, Shaking Stevens. I love Shaking Stevens.
Gary's right. Like the main reason most people know about Shaking Stevens is because of Alan Partridge.
Yeah,
it's like one of Alan Partridge's book was reviewed by Shaking Stevens, and he said lovely stuff.
Do you know what he does? Yeah, all right, never mind. I'm not going to continue with this. I shouldn't actually know things about the guy if I can't get his name right.
This is very true.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I don't think anyone's personally holding it against you. I'm just laughing a bit.
It's almost as good as when Bob Marley visited Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, but that wasn't your fault, that one.
That was an absolute... Oh, I howled for ages about that. Bob Marley. Buffalo Soldier. There's more.
That's quite funny in its own way, though.
There's more of the gravy than of the grave of you. Dread like Rasta. My wife's going to bust in here and kill me.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's been a puff. Do you think they'll legalise that in Scotland?
The SNP have said that they'd like to do it, but
For medicinal reasons, or
yeah. I'm not exactly sure. The problem you've got is this: see, if you legalise cannabis in Scotland, you'll turn like somewhere like Glasgow into a total cesspool. Because if you only do it in Scotland, I'm all for the legalisation of it, but I think it needs to happen across the UK, because you're just going to have everybody from everywhere is going to descend on the cities that are selling weed, basically. And then I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, be great for the local economy and all that, but you know what Amsterdam's like? It's like everybody travels there because they know they can get weed there.
Yeah.
It's not the only reason. I went there and had a perfectly nice time without touching the stuff.
That's true. You can have a nice bike ride. They've got a lovely orchestra.
But I do believe that it should be legalized. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that it's illegal.
Ridiculous. No, you're true. It's true enough. Well, I think it's kind of, some people love to band all drugs into one camp, but it's not really, can't really do that. I mean, you can't put cocaine and heroin in the same camp as.
I have no idea what Kim Mikey 2.0 is talking. I have to go report for duty at Titans TV, licky bastards.
Shaking Stevens.
The words of Shaky Stevens. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I heard there's been some big issues in the US though, where like dispensaries and stuff have been getting robbed. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't the US, it was in Canada. So basically, there's these dispensaries that have been getting robbed, and the problem they've had is that if they speak to the police, everything will get taken, but if they don't report it to the police, only the amount stolen is taken from them. They're in like a real detritus. Should never. I mean, that's the thing about the law. It should never really be in a situation where people have to be afraid to contact the police.
I just don't think that you should. I just don't think that you should be able to tell somebody what they can and can't put in their body. It's my feeling on the matter.
You're right.
Not my words, the words of
That's right. If that horse is good to go, then
yeah. Jesus. I think we'll maybe bring festivities to an end.
Why not? That's right. Let's ruin Christmas early for everyone.
Christmas is over. I should probably go and check in, make sure everything's okay with my wife. We're downstairs and there's going to be a baby sitting there.
Yeah, good luck with the baby in general.
So, depending on what happens, we've recorded a podcast.
Yep, which, let me just check the scheduling. I believe I told it to go off on Sunday. Let me just check.
And then we've also, well, we might
17th of December, which I believe is, yep, I think Sunday it's going on.
There's always the chance we might get another podcast done. There's also the chance that I might get a Christmas narration up. But that's all going to depend on when Baby Whitehouse arrives and all that jazz. And I hate I know I keep saying this, I'm being one of these people that's just constantly talking about it, but it's just that right now it's like we're just waiting basically for it to happen. So
well, that's what I was saying. As far as I read, like something like 5% of women actually give birth on their due date. So it's like you've kind of got to give people a number to work around. But
yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything's good, but definitely if you don't hear much from us before Christmas, there'll still be a couple of things going up, but January is when it's going to. I was going to do this. I don't know what that is. January is really going to kick off big time. Isn't that right, Callum?
I'm pretty sure that was the thing that Shaky Stevens used to do. But
That was
then
Shaky
again,
Stevens dance.
Jesus.
Listen, thanks very much to everyone being in the comments. It's awesome of all of you. Sorry, I shouldn't read and speak at the same time. I really appreciate everyone sort of hanging out, and I hope you all have a really great Christmas. And if I don't speak to you beforehand, a fantastic New Year. Callum, what do you say to that?
Ditto. Yeah, no, of course, I'd like to reciprocate any good holiday cheer that Michael laid forth. But yeah, we'll need to try and cater for our American audience for the live stream. I don't know. It's very difficult to work out where to do it. I think the weekend is generally maybe a good time because there's more people about. But I get the feeling that we're kind of we tend to do a bit of a no man's land where like sometimes it's like we do it at the right point and there's a few people around. But there's been plenty of people around for this. But the last one we had quite a lot of people on, but it's difficult to know because we do this regardless if anyone was watching. It's great that you guys turn out, but it's more a case of like I don't like to feel that anyone thinks that they're missing out, you know.
No, the thing is as well, I think like even when we have like the number of people that are in the chat now, it's a lovely wee group, and I think we actually the channel's in a really good place at the moment because it's got a great wee collection of subscribers who are all really friendly and nice. If we do get bigger, sometimes that increases the number of people who maybe can be a wee bit detrimental sometimes to a community. So right now it's nice. We will hopefully get bigger. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but yeah, I'd like to say I've got baby brain, but I'm just tired. All right, Merry Christmas to all of you, and to all a good night.
You say that, but I've got the Switch.
You've got the Switch.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. I believe we should have some stuff up before Christmas, as Michael said. But in the event that we don't, as Michael said, I'd like to reciprocate. I hope.
Yeah. Did you just put the Discord in the chat there? Or?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's good. We've got a Discord, which means that you can basically talk to us all the time.
Text chat. No, we might try and organize some actual calls. I mean, if people are interested in that, we might organize some Discord chats at some point where people can jump in a call. That might be fun.
Yeah, definitely. So come check that out. Right, that's all. That's all, Cam. I'm done.
The Core Magician's still there, so we've got to have the crowd sign off. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
See you later, guys. That was my chair making that noise, by the way.
Yeah, peace in the Middle East.